Hey YouTube, it's Patrice Sunflower here, and in this video today I am preparing a wonderful gourmet style meal. And I started with some delicious sidekicks. I'm preparing a chicken noodle dish that I got from the local grocery store. This one happens to be Knorr brand, but you could use any brand you wanted. I think it's pronounced Knorr. It's a really tasty chicken sidekick. And it's really easy. All you have to do is add some water or milk and the packaged ingredients with about a teaspoon or tablespoon of butter or margarine, your choice. And in this case, I also added a little bit of some 2% milk along with the water because I like the combination of the milk and water. And I always add a little more than the package directions. And there's the butter that I mentioned. And I do things a little differently. I actually put all the ingredients first instead of boiling the water because I find it a lot easier for me just to do it that way and a little more streamlined. And I believe the texture and quality is a bit better doing it this way versus the package instructions. So we're just giving it a little stir. The temperature on the stove was probably about 5 or 6. I probably put it at around 7 at one point, and then I would lower the heat. We just give it a little stir. And I also remembered that I added some extra virgin olive oil to the pot because I like the addition of the olive oil in there. With the viscosity and the smoothness of it, it really does help. Stir, stir, stir. That's kind of what it's all about, is getting that all of the ingredients kind of meshed and melded in all together. And as you can see, it hasn't cooked yet, so it's still pretty raw. I like to show it as it starts to cook. And then as you see some bubbles, you'll see that it starts to cook and get some bubbles, which is exactly what we're looking for. And there's the steam that's coming from the pot. It's starting to cook quite nicely. As you can see, it's getting well incorporated. And it's actually starting to thicken a little bit because I did it my style, which was adding everything in the pot at once versus boiling the water and then adding the pasta. So that's kind of how I like to do it. Gotta keep stirring at this point. If you don't, and you go get the phone or you watch another YouTube video, for example, it's going to potentially stick and burn. So you gotta keep at that pot constantly, mixing it and stirring it and incorporating it. So that's the key to getting a great dish. It's really starting to get cooked now. The temperature is, again, probably around 7, and I think I'm gonna have to lower it at some point just to make sure that it doesn't get too dry. Even though at this point it's actually looking really, really great. There's a couple of other dishes that I've made as well. Like you'll see a couple other things that I'm preparing with the dish. I prepare a salad, not shown, as well as some steak. So that's coming up pretty soon. And this is looking just wonderful. Keep stirring it. As you can see, some of the water and the milk has evaporated quite nicely. And I'm showing you guys how it's getting thicker and thicker and more cooked. Those pieces are getting quite tender now. It's not quite there yet, but it's getting there. And I think the addition of the extra water and milk really, really helps it get to this point because I prefer it on a more of a watery side versus a sticky side with less milk. continuously stirring and checking according to your liking. And now we moved on to the bone-in strip-loin steak. As you can see, this one was $7.37. I don't normally buy the bone-in, but I bought it today, and it was on sale. And I added some salt right on the actual piece of meat, the steak. Salt it liberally and nicely. And then you're gonna add some pepper as well. Yeah, just add some pepper, quite generous with the pepper there, as you can see. And just mix it in quite nicely, making sure it all gets covered. Excuse me. And then, after all of that, I have heated up a frying pan and added the extra virgin olive oil. Now it's really important that the pan is really, really hot because you want that smoke point. And there it goes in, nice and sizzly and hot. That T-bone is getting cooked really nicely. You know, it only took a couple of minutes. It was extremely fast. I thought it was going to take about 4 or 5 minutes aside, but actually, to my surprise, it was cooked quite quickly. So that was pretty amazing. And I think it's getting ready to check, almost ready to flip over. It's cooking very nicely in the hot oil. Sizzling away. And now I think it's time to turn it over. Yes, that's about the desired consistency I was looking for. Looking really, really good. And I've just used my trusty little tongs to flip that over. And it looks like it's pretty much almost cooked, which is great. And now it's time to almost remove it from the pan. And here's a shot of the green salad that I made to go with it. This one has some garlic and some lemon and olive oil. And then there's the finished piece of the chicken side dish of noodles. We're drilling all over this. And finally, guys, here's the finished piece. Wow, look at this beautiful finished piece of meal. You've got your steak, your salad, and your wonderful noodles to go with it. And thank you so much for watching. Toodles! And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button, like, share, comment. And thanks again.